Neil Young and Heart of Gold on BBC Radio 2 with me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
Alright. We were asking for the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received, past or present, and there have been some absolute stinkers here. Pete Archer says, I'm diabetic, and I once got 3 big tins of sweets. I mean, that's just rubbing it in. Cheska says, I once got a Christmas tree from my brother on Christmas Day.
Well, that's
long-term present, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
What do you mean?
Was it a plastic one or a real one?
We need more information. I got a fly mode from my 85-year-old gran, which was nice, but for the fact that I live in a flat.
Well, you could do the carpet.
There's one here, it says, Sid from Leeds, he says, I once received a PlayStation 2, which I really wanted. I didn't open it for a few hours while we had lunch, and I was looking forward to playing the game, a bit like you with your ZX Spectrum.
Yeah.
I opened up the box, and much to everyone else's enjoyment, there was 2 oranges and a pair of socks.
That's cruel.
But that's like, I mean, that's what kind of a family's that? I mean, in Carl's case, he actually forgot to buy the
Or, Harvest Festival, the vicar's got a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the wrong label, isn't it? Yeah, he couldn't believe his luck. Coming up, actually, talking of vicars, a lot of vicars listening, apparently. I don't know how many that is. I don't know how many there are. But, Carl's gonna do a sermon. You remember, last week, he insulted vicars, saying they only work 1 day a week. He made a vicar swear.
Yeah.
Who said, maybe if I, give up my 1 day a week, I can become a DJ and do bugger all week. You made a vicar swear.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to, I just...
No, Gillian Oliver's phoned in, and she's the press, officer for the Church of England, has invited Carl to do a sermon. We've risen to the challenge. Carl's gonna do a bit of a sermon. We just say, that's when we've picked on. We're open to all religions here.
Yeah.
Maybe, in the future, Carl can do a sermon, for another denomination. I don't know, you know.
Well, it just depends, though, how sort of thick the book is.
Right.
So you want a religion with a smaller book?
Just a smaller book, and...
I just say I view all religions equally, because I am an atheist. So I truly do view all religious beliefs equally. But, you know, just because I don't believe in it, a lot of people do, and Carl is gonna basically sum up the Bible. That's what we're doing today, isn't
Should we play a record and then come back with the first part of Carl's sermon?
I cannot, I mean, I honestly can't wait. I feel like squeezing his head during this record.
Do it, mate.
Okay. Stones, Waiting on a Friend. Great track.
Amazing tune.
So, Carl, you've studied the Bible over the last couple of days.
Well...
And you're gonna give us basically the Bible abridged, is that right? Just, condensed?
Just that, you know, it's that time of the year when religion,
well, let's save it. Let's do a sermon. Everyone settle down at home, turn the radio up. This is, Reverend Karl Pilkington with, the history of the Bible.
Alright, thank you very much. Right, well, thanks for coming. Starting off, you know, I mean, I started off at the beginning of the book, what have you?
The Bible, we'll call it for the sake of argument.
Right. There's quite a bit missing. It doesn't say about how sort of God was already about, so it doesn't go right back to the beginning.
Right, okay.
God's already knocking about and that.
Yep.
Anyway, he made the world, right? He did all that, right?
Yeah.
He sorted out sort of sun in the day and that, so everything's light and you can see yourself about.
Right.
He did the stars and the moon for at night, right? I was thinking about that. If I was him, I probably would have just let it be day all the time rather than having 2 systems.
We're not criticising.
No, I'm not having a go. I'm just saying. I mean, it's easy now, isn't it, in hindsight, to sort of say, do you know what?
It's easy to really criticise him, but he was working.
He sort of loosened the top. You just got it off. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he did a lot of the work. Yeah, cheers.
No, I'm just saying though, like they mess about with the clocks and that because of farmers getting up in the dark and that. If it was day all the time, less crime and that. I'm just saying it might have been worth an idea.
He missed a trick there, is what you're saying.
But he moves in mysterious ways, so you don't know why he's done that. He might be thinking something that your small brain can't really.
Fair enough. I'm not having a go, like I say, I'm just reading it and thinking about it. That's what it's all about, innit? Education, get yourself thinking.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, so he did all that. He made the sun and that, and then he said, "Oh, make some creatures and stuff." He made a load of birds, loads of different birds, creatures, animals, and that. Because with the world being so big, it's like if you buy a big house, you need more furniture, don't you?
Right.
So he made this, and he was like, "Oh, God, what am I going to fill it with?" So this is why he did all these.
Right.
Animals.
That's not actually in the Bible. You speculated there on the mind of God.
Well, I'm sort of just treating it like it's his big house,
right?
Isn't it? Okay. And he's filling it. He's making it look nice, different birds and what have you. Right? It's just my opinion. Like
it's making it sound like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
So anyway, right. So he does all that, and he thinks, right, I'll make a little man and a woman.
Sure.
who we all know as, like, Adam and Eve.
Yep.
Everyone knows their names, but at no point is their surname mentioned. Right?
Well, he's not going to have trouble with the post, is he?
So anyway, right, Adam and Eve are knocking about. The God says to him, look, just enjoy yourselves and that, right? Do what you want, but I'll tell you this. I'm only telling you once, he said. He said, don't be eating fruit from that special tree.
Yeah.
So, they were like, alright, fair enough. He said, the tree that I'm talking about is the tree of knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's sort of made it a little bit worse, because it sounds good and that, and you're like, oh, knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, don't go in that door. Yeah,
It's that sort of thing. Instead of just sort of not telling them.
Mm.
Because I don't know, see the tree of knowledge, what it had on it, by what I can work out, is it's an apple tree, right? And it's pretty tempting, innit, to have a little cheeky apple, because I don't know what they were eating back then.
Right.
Do you know what they were getting by on?
No, I don't know.
Right, so anyway, so they were like, yeah, alright, whatever. Eve goes for a wander about,
Yeah.
right? Killing time and that. Bumps into this snake,
Oh, yeah.
and Snake said, said, alright, you got an apple, right? And he was selling it, so he was going, it tastes good and that, right? And she's like, well, shouldn't really, but, you know, I've been told that I shouldn't eat that, because I think God said to her at some point,
get on with it. You're on page 1 at the moment.
This is absurd.
This is just unbelievable.
I know, but I'm just
get to the point. You're on page 1. You haven't moved on. Okay, we know Adam and Eve. What have you learned?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, he was saying don't eat it, because it's dangerous.
I know, we know. Get on with it. Just get on. I mean,
But the thing is, people do eat things that are dangerous, don't they? Like puffer fish, even to this day, people are eating stuff that can kill them.
Yeah.
So it's not a threat, they're not that bothered, it's an apple, right? They're gonna have a little cheeky apple. Anyway, they eat it, right? God goes mental at them. He said, I told you not to do that, I've told you can enjoy yourself and everything. You've gone against what I said. You've eaten the apple. Adam and Eve sort of got told off and what have you. They went off and had kids. That added extra pressure, a lot of arguments happened, and that's kind of part 1.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So, you're an idiot. Really, you are an idiot.
Well, part 2 later then.
You better buck up your ideas in part 2.
What a great track.
Amazing.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Sweet Home Alabama, on BBC Radio 2 with me, Steve Merchant,
and me, Ricky Gervais.
and over there, both of us,
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Still to come, we should also point out we've got Rockbusters on the way. It's the quiz that's not sweeping the nation. No one cares.
Oh no, that's not fair.
Well-
no, look at him. Look, he's probably been sweating over that. He's been reading the children's Bible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and that's all he came up with. The first people were Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we don't know what their surname is.
unbelievable. What an idiot you are.
Also in the third hour, Monkey News, which I think we're all looking forward to.
It's sort of like Darwinism versus creation, isn't it? Monkey News, Adam and Eve.
Yeah. There's a bit of everything.
Which do you like? Do you like Monkey News or do you like Adam and Eve?
Also, it's probably worth kind of digesting some of the year's big events, Rick. So maybe we should just cast our eyes back on some of the big
I
news
think
stories of the
people
year.
are waiting to see our three opinions on the review of the year.
Yeah. I should just give away this Eurythmics platinum disc that we offered up in the first hour. And we were asking for the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received. And I want to give it to this guy because well, it's not like, I'm sure it's fine, but it's just something about it which really amused me. It's from Toby in London. He says, when I was younger, I got a book about crude oil. I'd never expressed an interest in oil, and certainly not crude oil. But what I love is the parents, is thinking of that gift.
They were shopping, they were going, what oil is it that Toby likes?
Yeah.
I don't even, does he like
It's olive oil, probably, I don't know.
No, he thinks olive oil's sissy. What's that one he loves the spouting out the ground one?
Crude oil?
Get him the book on crude oil, Mary. Unbelievable.
So, Toby in London, you get the Eurythmics Platinum disc. Well done to you. Also in this hour, we've got some Kylie collectibles to give away. So we'll probably do Rockbusters, and the lucky winner of that gets those. But I was just looking through the papers, of course, and it's the New Year's Honours list today, and I imagine you're very excited about that, Carl.
New Year's Honours and all that.
Yeah, you're familiar with that, when people get knighthoods and OBEs?
I've heard about it.
Sir Tom Jones, you got to call him Sir Tom now. You pleased with that? Do you think Tom Jones deserved it?
Well, they sort of chuck him out to anyone now, don't they? So if he wants one, let him have one. Well, it's just, I mean, the way I saw it was, like, the Queen used to give them out to people who, did like big things like killing dragons and all that.
Yeah, that was a while. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now it's, you know, from dragon killers to sort of Joe Pasquale.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, you went in the jungle with Ant and Dec. Is an OBE.
Some people actually send, famously, some rock stars and big names. They sometimes give their awards back, or they refuse to accept the knighthood. If it was offered to you, Rick, would you accept it? Your OBE or your?
See, I don't know, because one, I know it's sort of like not a cool thing, and I don't know if you should align yourself with that sort of thing or whatever, and whether you're a monarchist or not, which I'm sort of indifferent really. But I would feel rude.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, it's you know, after we won the Golden Globes, an interviewer said, "Do you think you'll get a knighthood?" And I went, "Oh, I don't want a knighthood." And they said, "Why not?" I said, "You can't do anything with it." I said, "In olden days, you could ride a white horse along and have a big sword. Nowadays, you can just put it on your headed notepaper."
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I said something like, "I'd rather have a name like Don Gervais." And the headline was, "Ricky wants to join the mafia," which I think is a bit harsh. I've been invited to the palace a couple of times. I think about.
Whoa, hang on. What do you mean?
I've been invited to the palace about 3 times.
Why? Can I just point out for people who don't know who I am, I collaborate with Ricky on everything except his stand-up comedy, which I suspect was not the reason you were getting invited to the palace.
No,
It's a little bit bawdy,
My work
a little bit blue.
For my work on Flanimals.
Yeah, for your children's...
Please get him along. I love the mung unga. I love that mung
So I should just point out that I've co-written both The Office and Extras, and yeah, I've never had an invite from the palace.
Yeah, but I think the Queen knows who's the main one, who's the driving force. You know. Anyway, right. So I get this thing through. The first time I thought, I can't go out.
Why couldn't you go?
Well, I don't know. The second time I came through, and I said to Jane, it was like 6 o'clock, right? And I said, "Oh, should we go?" And it was very exciting, but I felt a bit funny just going along to the palace, right? And I
Sorry,
said,
who was it? Could just be you and Jane and Prince Philip and the Queen? Was it that?
Well, no, there was about, I don't know, I think it was about 8. There was about 8 people, right?
So you needed some extra
eminent
people for Pictionary.
Me, the usual, me, Salman Rushdie,
Yeah.
David Bowie,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Oh yeah,
and-
you're aligning yourself in the
Yeah.
company of geniuses, I noticed there.
No, I'll tell you something about Salman Rushdie later. And I said to Jane, I said, "We go for an hour." She went, "It's not the sort of place you can turn up for an hour with some leaf round milk."
It's not your boss's barbecue at the weekend.
Pop in. I've got some other people to see. I'm seeing Tony Blair later. Anyway, cheers, Liz. But anyway, the thing that came through was, I will be attending, stroke not be attending, right? And I thought that was just too harsh to send back, "I will not be attending."
Yeah.
So there was a number at the Marshal's house, and I called him up and he went, "Hello?" And I said, "Hello, it's Ricky Gervais here. I got an invite to the palace. I won't be able to attend." I said, "I thought it was a little bit harsh just to send back, 'I will not be attending.'" He said, "How delightfully polite of you to call."
Was it Roger Moore on
I don't know, but I went, "That's no," he said, "Oh, there's no trouble. Thank you so much for calling." I bet no one calls him.
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't get a look in. And it was really, I'm so glad I called and didn't just send back, "I will not be attending." But listen, keep inviting me, because I mean, if it's right for my diary, I'd love to come along and have a mooch around.
Yeah, just see what's
Seriously.
going on up there.
Yeah, so, Salman Rushdie, right? This is the nice story. So, I've met him a few times now. Now he's out and about.
Sure.
He's never home.
No.
I bet his house is a mess.
Yeah.
Right. It was just after the first series of The Office went out. I got invited to this thing. I'd met Jonathan, actually. I'd met Jonathan Ross on this show, and we were talking about being Bowie fans. I'd never met him before, and he said, "Well, I'm interviewing Bowie for this special. Come along." And I went along, and there was Bowie. My hero was amazing. A couple of big celebrities in the audience, one of which was Salman Rushdie. And Greg Dyke, who was head of the BBC then, said to me, he said, "I'm a Bowie fan, do you want to go and meet him?" And I went, okay, right? So we went down, so it's me, Greg Dyke, right, and Salman Rushdie, going on chat to Bowie. I went to the pub the next day with my mate, and he said, "What did you do last night?" And I said, "Nothing." Because I couldn't say, "I was hanging out with David Bowie, Greg Dyke and Salman Rushdie. Why? What did you do?" And I just said, "Nothing."
If you can name every celebrity that Ricky has mentioned in the last link, who he spent time with, then you can win yourself a prize. Perhaps a signed copy of Extras, for which he got invited to the palace, and I didn't. 88-291. If you can name every name that Ricky Gervais dropped.
That's Don Gervais.
Rick, as you know, I absolutely love a good cover version. I think that cover version, if it's done really well, can not only match the original, it can sometimes even better it.
I totally agree.
And I think that that's Ryan Adams' version of Wonderwall. And I think, you know, much as I love Wonderwall, it almost reinvests it with a new beauty and a new majesty that perhaps we'd forgotten about because the other song is so well
no
played.
taking it away from Noel,
Oh, not at all.
but
It's almost kind of reinvented it. You
It's
know.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful, great song anyway, isn't it?
That's what's weird, really, because you've done that, and that's kind of what I've done with Rockbusters.
Right.
I've taken something,
Well, you've taken Blockbusters and changed one word.
sort of made it better.
No, not really, because those are real clues that work. Yours are the ramblings of a madman. He doesn't really understand what the word cryptic means.
A little bit
It's
stronger.
more, this should be called What Am I Thinking?
Well,
What am I thinking?
We should just introduce the idea of Rockbusters to people who didn't hear it last week. Now, I'm trying to think of some classic ones. Do you remember there was now what was it? The
Jamaican
Jamaican
fella spinning a fish round his head. That was De Trout Spinners. And he tried to make it sound. I mean, it doesn't work.
You have to speak in a Jamaican accent and say
the way they
the
say
Trout Spinners.
Well, they wouldn't say Trout. They'd say Detroit.
Trout Spinners.
So it doesn't work there. So that's the stupid Wetney Houston.
Yeah.
No one called Wetney Houston.
Yeah.
So
you need to basically crawl inside Carl's head and figure out what's going on in there if you want to win these. We've got some Kylie collectibles for Rockbusters.
the good thing about crawling into Carl's head is there is a lot of room.
There's plenty of room.
It's
It's very much like when God created the Earth. You can just fill it up with anything.
Yeah.
Birds. So, your Rockbusters clues this week then, Carl.
Alright, so as always, you know, we did it last week.
What can you win, though?
The Kylie collectibles, just
Brilliant.
mention
Excellent. Should we throw in some stuff of ours? Just to
if you've got any tag
we
ones
get it
going
for
with?
free, extras, flanimals, etc.
Got some other junk liner in the office.
Yeah.
So then, 3 clues, you text in with the answers, you win the stuff, right? First clue. The initials of the band or the artist are FF. Right?
FF, okay.
FF. And the sort of
Well, I
cryptic...
know it already.
And the well, don't ruin it. And the cryptic clue, I've got snails, croissants, and baguettes in my palm. Right? What's going on there?
Oh, no, I don't know it.
Right, there's the clue.
Say that again.
I've got snails, croissants, and baguettes in my palm. Oh, that's weird. FF. Right, FF. What's the band of the artist?
The clue changes ever so slightly every time.
I know.
Right, the next one. Me granny's is taking a penalty. She better get the ball in the back of the net. NM. Artist or a band. NM. That's an old artist, by the way.
Give it to us again.
NM. Me granny's taking a penalty.
I've got it.
She better get it in the back of the net.
It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one.
All right.
That might be his best ever.
Wow.
There you go, right? And the last one, this is a tough one, but you know how it works.
Wow. When he says tough, he means doesn't work.
Yes.
Does not work. Repeat. This does not work. Go on.
The initial of the band, it's an 80s band, I think I've got to help them out. A is the initial, right? And the clue is, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and that, what am I? Right? So, letters A, the cryptic clue, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and that, what am I?
And the initial?
A.
882921.
That works.
You can give us a call 0500 288
I'm
291.
getting worried now because I'm getting all these.
That's really scary. Gervais at bbc.co.uk if you've got an answer for, or you need all 3 of those to win those Kylie collectibles.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, well done.
Play a little cheeky song.
Yeah.
Razorlight. Golden Touch. On Radio 2. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
We were going to have a quick assessment of the year's events because it's been a tumultuous year in many ways, Rick. You know, some steps forward. I'm sure you'll agree with the ban on fox hunting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really can't believe it took to 2005. And then people moaning, we can't go and hunt fox. Oh, why not? You can't go and have a fox ripped to pieces. Oh, what do you want to do instead?
I never understood it because it was people getting up in arms, and it's a sport for them. It's a game, so it's like you can't play Yahtzee anymore. You've got to play Guess Who. Well, all right.
And all this rubbish about you know, it's what foxes do. Oh, is it? Oh, but why do you like it? You wouldn't want a robot fox because you want to see blood. My brother-in-law was doing this job. He's a driver, and he went to this sort of really posh school, and he was talking to someone there. They're into fox hunting and stuff, and he said, "I don't agree with just chatting to us. I don't agree with fox hunting." They went, "Oh, why? Are you a vegetarian?" He went, "No, I eat meat." They went, "You eat meat, but you don't agree with hunting?" He went, "Why? Do you eat fox?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a ridiculous argument.
Are you pleased with that ban, Carl?
What sort of? I don't think, you know, we should sort of any animal, should we?
I totally agree.
And sort of, you know, respect their place and that. I mean, I went on holiday once, right? Went into the sea, right? Was only up to my knees, right? Got stung by a jellyfish, right?
Sure.
And what I mean is, like, you know, the sea, that's someone else's territory, innit?
Right.
And I could have had a moan.
But you
I was like, well, I shouldn't be here.
Whereas if you went home and you were watching telly and a jellyfish came at you,
I'd say what's going on.
you would, wouldn't you? You would say what's going on, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You definitely would. If a jellyfish came out from behind your telly and clamped onto your face, you go, Suzanne, what's going on? What's a jellyfish doing? I don't go into the sea. But it's like when they, that bloke that climbed into a polar bear cage and got eaten, and there was a thing about have the polar bear put down. No, don't have the polar bear put down. You took him from the ice caps, popped him in a zoo, right? That's his house now. He didn't want to be there, right? And then someone climbed in. I love it when a matador gets gored to death. I love it, because the bull didn't want to fight.
Happy New Year. But also this year, of course, we've had the gay civil marriages, or the civil ceremonies. I'm not entirely sure yet what this is. Do we loosely call it gay marriage, just for the sake of ease?
No, well, it's just it's officially a civil marriage, isn't it? They're not saying it's a marriage as such, because I don't know if the church acknowledge it or not, I'm not sure. We got enough vicars listening.
They can let us know.
Let us know, yeah.
But I don't know if you read it, I read it in the paper the other day.
But the church is gonna look nice, isn't it? The flowers are gonna look brilliant,
really good,
aren't they?
But I don't know if you read the other day that I was pleased to read that John Inman, Mr. Humphreys from Are You Being Served, has just been involved in his civil ceremony with his long-term partner.
Whoa. John Inman's gay.
Yeah, no, I know. It's stunning, isn't it?
I know, unbelievable. I do like it when one of those sort of people that are so obviously gay, they come out after like years, like Elton John comes out and goes, actually, I've got some news. Sit down. Mate, just sit down, I've got some news for you. Oh, hello, Alan. Like your new pink tracksuit, by the way. That's what I want to talk to you about. I'm actually gay. And they all have to go, you're joking.
They gotta fake it.
No way.
Like when someone knows there's a surprise party for them, they gotta pretend that they, oh my god, I can't believe it. But,
yeah, so what we've had, it is a year of disasters, which is, it does seem worse this year. I don't know, maybe I'm hitting that age where I think there was like, it was nicer before, but it was a year of disasters,
It's been terrible. Well, we've had obviously Hurricane Katrina and the tsunami and the earthquake and things, and it's obviously been terrible, and we don't want you to be flippant about that, but the only time I was praying for a natural disaster of biblical proportions was when I was watching Celebrity Love Island. and it never happened, sadly. And some of the dregs of humanity on that show, I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but Paul Danan is a joy, because he's a mental case, and I'd say that, I don't know if that's libelous, but, I mean, if anyone's seen the show...
What did you say?
I said he was a mental case.
Yeah, it's pretty libelous, I think, I think he could sue you there.
Okay, well, I'll take that back, but...
Take that back, he's not a mental case.
But he is, I think...
I mean, let's face it, before you, say anyone is stupid or a mental case, do the old binary sort, are they madder and thicker than Carl? If not, I think you know...
That means I can never accuse anyone of being stupid. But I love it, he was talking about Lady Isabella Harvey, and he went, I love Lady Isabella Harvey, because, thing is, like, she don't like books, and I don't like books.
Brilliant, they got something in common then.
The idea that something in common is something that they don't do together.
I love the idea that people like us would sit around just praying for a big wind.
Just a big wind.
And the only big wind was from Rebecca Lewis. In the Ghetto, by Elvis. That's one of the 10 songs that Carl likes.
Yes.
I mean, I've never met anyone who is, I don't know, so underwhelmed by music and the plethora of
No,
tunes.
I do like it.
But it was saying about when I first got my iPod, which I absolutely love, okay, and I was downloading, I said it's got 10,000 songs. He went, wasn't he that many for? He said, I like a Walkman. He said, you know, you're going for a walk, listen to that. He said, how long's the walk? When do you need 10,000 records? And he was trying to work with the ones he put on, and he got to about 7. And what do you like? You only like songs with a story.
Mainly, a song that, you know, when you pop it on, you go, right, I'm gonna listen to this for however long it is, and you've got to check it all out. You can't just turn it off and fade it off, because you've got to hear how the story ends.
But how many times can you hear the same story? I mean, it's a great tune, but it's not because it's a story, it's because the lyrical content, apart from the story aspect, and the beautiful tune, and the way he sings, and the production.
No, it's not about that.
Otherwise you want to go, bloke, he born on the wrong side of the tracks, tries to nick a car, gets shot. I mean, that's...
Yeah, but think about what you've just said, and what I'm saying is, if you get up to, he was born on the wrong side of the tracks or whatever, I'll turn it off now, you'd be going, I wonder what happened to him. So you listen to it all.
What other songs are there, songs with a story?
There's one, Johnny Cash, when he's nicking a car from a factory.
What happens there? I don't remember that song.
He works in a car factory, and every day he's going, right, I'll nick a little bolt, right? Yeah. Then he nicks a wing mirror, and I think he nicks like a gear stick and that.
So if you've got 7 songs that you like, I mean, it must be, what's your favourite song of all time?
But how could you do that? Because you haven't heard how that ended now, you see. I've just told you there what he was doing.
Because you've probably got it wrong.
I haven't, and then what happens at the
I
end?
assume everything you say is probably wrong.
There you go then, you'll never know, and that will annoy you now, so... Other songs I like, Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Oh yeah, that's your favourite song, isn't it?
That's good.
Because it's, yeah.
What's the story there?
Just about a little gay fella goes to New York, because that's, like, I think it was in the 70s when, like, you know, if you were gay and that, New York was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was like, you know, where they all went and stuff. Had a good life there. His dad didn't, I think his dad kicked him out or something.
No, I'm sure you're thinking of, Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. I'm sure you're getting all these mixed up just because it's another little gay fella, as you call him.
Anyway, he goes to New York.
He goes to New York.
He's having a well time.
Yeah, having a good time in the 70s.
Oh, you're right. His dad said, how can a son of mine not be straight? I take it all back, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And he goes to New York and that. They go out late, don't they? They have, like, late nights out and stuff.
What do you mean?
No, I just mean, you know, gays like to party and that, they know how to live, you know what I mean, they get the most out of life and that. Partying late. He was on his way home.
I'm sorry, that's such a general
Everyone
sweeping
goes out late and parties.
What do you mean they like to go out late?
No, it's just if you go in Soho in London, right, at like 5 in the morning, you think it was like rush hour.
But you assume anyone who takes a bit of pride in their appearance is gay.
Well, I mean, no, you can look after yourself and that without being a little gay fella, but I'm just saying that's what that song's about.
Can I just say, anyone's offended by this, he means no harm, he doesn't know, he knows not what he says, really, everything from Carl is totally genuine, he's not having a go, you live and let live, don't you?
He's a bit like Mork from Mork and Mindy.
He hasn't got a prejudicial bone in his body, but go on then.
Yeah, so, and then because he was out late, he was walking back and sort of, it's a bit of a sad ending, he gets attacked and that, but it's a good song if you want a song with a story. Rod Stewart, Killing a Georgie.
Brilliant.
Right. So
well, I'm thinking maybe we should get people to just text in, just a few people, if they've got any songs they can recommend to Carl. We may be getting played to him.
Pinball Wizard.
Pinball Wizard, love.
That was a good one. That's about blind fella.
Right.
Deaf, dumb and blind kid.
Oh yeah, deaf, dumb and blind, right? But he loves pinball. I don't know if he knows what he's playing. No, it's just that he's a pinball wizard, but, you know, if he's deaf, dumb and blind, does he know what game he's playing?
Sure.
Does he even bother putting money in it? Well, no, forget it. If you
Hungry Heart from the Boss on Radio 2, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, and of course Ricky Gervais.
We don't mean the Boss on Radio 2, we don't mean Leslie Douglas.
No,
that was Bruce Springsteen.
I don't think anyone was making that having that confusion.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Just you.
Just in case,
Yeah.
okay.
We were doing, about 20 minutes ago, Rockbusters, special New Year's Rockbusters, 3 clues, 3 bands or artists. We've had a number of responses. It really worries me when people get this right.
Well, I was worried that I got it right.
Well, I don't know what it says about our audience. It's like, why are we bothering? We may as well just shoot off. They'll be happy just watching the tumble dryer going round.
I know. Carl, come on then. What are the clues again? Here we go.
Right then, so, there's 3 clues. First one, the initials were, FF, right? And that was, if I've got snails and croissants and baguettes in my palm, right? That's like the clue. What band or artist is that? Think about it, right?
Go on then.
The initials were FF. That's Franz Ferdinand, right? So like
Whoa!
Franz Ferdinand. It's kind
Franz Ferdinand.
France, because it's like, oh, that's what they eat over there.
Should be
snails.
French, really. There's no, you can't say France
in
food,
your hand,
can you?
so France.
French food in hand.
French food
I've
in hand.
never heard of a band called French Food in Hand.
Well, a lot of people got it as well.
I know,
on the
but
text,
French
so.
Food in Hand. What are they? What label are they on? What label are they on?
Just French food in hand. So you got that, right?
French Food in Hand. Yeah.
Second one was my granny's taking a penalty, right? She better get the ball in the back of the net.
Go on.
NM with the initials.
Yeah.
Try and work it out. Your gran, that's your nan. Ball in the back of the net. That's Nana must score it, right? Nana must score it, right?
Nana Muscori. Okay, I'll give you that one.
And who is it? Nana
Muscori. Nana Muscori.
Yeah, so
Nana Muscuri.
right, so that works. And then
No, it doesn't work,
Then
but
the
it's
final-
close enough. It's close enough.
the final one was the initial was A, right? And the clue was, and where people go to relieve themselves after looking at elephants and giraffes and all that sort of stuff. What am I? Right? That's a I'm a Zulu.
I'm a Zulu. No, I can't have it.
I'm a Zulu.
I'm a Zulu.
So that works as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
3 good clues as always there.
Well, not really. Couldn't really call them cryptic, but
Well, I'll give it to David Lyons of Aylesbury,
first one in.
Buckinghamshire, Franz
He got 'em all.
Ferdinand, Nana Muscuri, and Amazulu. Well done, David.
he gets the Kylie collectibles, which is what is it?
Just some Kylie collectibles.
Live signed
There's
stuff.
some signed
and
stuff on there. Some, I hope he's a Kylie fan.
We're throwing a signed extra DVD and some flammable stuff as well.
And on Monday, get straight down some kind of clinic. Have your brain examined.
Alright, bit of Kate Bush.
Kate Bush, King of the Mountain. Must be a song about the Tour de France or something.
Yep.
Wear a helmet. Always wear a helmet.
Good advice. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Rick, last week we had a spokesperson from the Church of England who was offering a spot at some kind of Manchester church for Carl to do a sermon, educate the kids on the Bible and all things religious. We've preempted that. We're first instalment in the first hour, and it was very slow.
You've got to do it quicker. If this is a Brit, I mean, that was nearly longer than the real thing.
Yeah,
that, I mean,
you're turning people off religion.
I mean, God only took 6 days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you were pushing that.
But this is what.
And he made it. You were just talking about it.
But this is what vicars do, isn't it? They drag it out. This is their living. If
They don't
rushed
drag it out.
They
What do
do.
you mean?
When you go to church,
What do you mean if they do? If they rushed it, what?
well, they wouldn't have a job, would they? So you've got to make sure you do everything that needs to be
You
told
reckon they're
and that.
milking it, do you?
Well, a little bit. I mean, you said that, not my words. But yeah, that's why I can't, rush it. You've got to tell the story, haven't you?
Oh, well, you need to get the Old Testament out of the way, because we're not even on to the New Testament yet.
No.
We've only got an hour and 10
Well, I'll
minutes.
just do it right.
Jesus hasn't even made an appearance, and he's like the star, isn't he?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we're all waiting for him to make it.
Yeah, he's like Brad Pitt coming in.
And I'll tell you, this, at the moment, it's a bit like the film King Kong I went to see. 3 hours long. It's 50 minutes before Kong makes an appearance.
Well, exactly. Let's get to the main event. Come
get
on.
JC on there.
I can't now. Anyway, just where we left off, just in case you've just.
Could I just
tuned
say
in.
it's just,
Don't recap.
I'm just saying that Jesus is the main event because it's the Church of England. There are other religions where he's probably not as high up.
He's not as featured as
It's
probably.
not. No, he'd be third on the fourth on the billing.
No,
Right, go on.
all I'm saying is we left it where Adam and Eve had kids. They were arguing a lot. The kids didn't listen to them.
Well, they weren't arguing a lot.
They did. They had a bit of an
The
argument.
kids did, yeah, but Adam and Eve didn't argue, did they? They were loving it. They were having a great time.
Well, no, not once he ate the apple.
I'm an atheist, and I'm trying to help him out.
Can we get on with it? Because we're just recapping what we already got bored of earlier.
Yes, come on! Get on with it!
I'm just saying.
Oh.
So the kids didn't listen to the mum and dad because they had a criminal record and that for nicking the apple. The kids were running riot. They're not bothered. So let's pick up.
Like to apologise there. I'm just gonna say, it really isn't worth complaining. He doesn't know what he'd get off. In a court of law, he'd get off. He's got, I don't know, he wouldn't be culpable for his own actions.
Come on,
'cause he's an
even
idiot.
I'm getting bored of this now.
Okay.
Right, so, God, you got to a point where he's going, it's all going wrong, right? People are doing what they want, Adam and Eve aren't listening, all the rest of it.
No, he gave them free will.
I've got
so
to do
the story
something.
goes,
Please,
oh,
Rick.
this is making me ill.
So, anyway, right, so he said, how can I get rid of all the badness and that? So, he made it rain, right? It rained for ages, people got sick of the rain and that, right? Cleaned it all out, right? Before he did that, though, I forgot something that's quite important. He met up with this bloke, Noah.
They met up over a coffee.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he said to Noah, look,
Get an umbrella.
I like you and that. Here's a little job for you.
All I'll say is buy shares in galoshes.
Yeah.
Words
no,
of advice.
I don't want to give anything away, but you get a boat.
Yeah.
And
said-
get a big boat.
He said, what I want you to do, right, make this boat up. He said, and when you've done that, go about, right, and get 2 of everything. Right? So, it
Man
was
and
like,
female.
that's a big job, isn't it? Right?
Man and female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you know, because do you know I always say I always put myself in the situation of the person's job and that.
Yeah.
I was thinking I can sort of sort out a man elephant, man woman and that. I wouldn't know how to do it with a spider. What?
I don't know why he brought on spiders. I do not know why Noah brought on spiders, because he missed an opportunity there. Get rid of all things like that.
Yeah.
Get rid of the spider, and get 4 flamingos or something. Or get 8 chimps. Let's use the space wisely.
But the weird thing is, right, with the spiders as well, because he did get the spiders on, didn't he? It rained, right? It rained for ages, like what was it, weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Raining that. So and then he let out a bird. I think it was a raven.
No, it wasn't.
Right, come on, let him finish.
No,
It
this is a-
wasn't a raven.
This is finish!
This is a
Okay.
fact. He let a raven out, right, and he didn't come back. So already his system had broken because he
Oh,
only
I
had,
think-
he only
okay.
had 1 raven left then, right? So he was like, oh. So he said, right. He left it a couple of days. He sent a dove out.
Oh, that's it. That's what I know. You've been more than me. I'll say.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well,
Is that what he did? He let
yeah.
a raven out first, did he?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Never
dove-
trust a raven. Always give it to the dove.
Dove came.
Don't send a raven to do a dove's
I
job.
reckon the Raven found another arc, an unofficial arc that was just like a party arc.
No, look, come on.
No,
Come on.
right. So the dove came back.
Yeah.
So he said, right, there must be dry land somewhere. right?
Okay.
So anyway, he was like, let's just hang about. for
Why
a
do you
bit.
think that?
'Cause it found a twig or something.
Exactly. Say what you. Why could that be the top of a tree though? Why could it? How did he know that?
Don't
Rick,
know.
if you are going to add to this, we are never going to get it done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right, so there was mud everywhere because the water went down. Mud everywhere.
Where did the water go?
Shut up! Why just
Where did it go?
Shut up! We haven't got time to go into
It doesn't make sense. If the whole world was flooded, where did the water
We have not
go?
got time for this.
Where did the water go?
This is mental.
Did they refreeze the ice caps? What? Tell me. Is it? It's got to be
Didn't
specific.
say it was a kid's Bible, wasn't it? It wasn't going in depth. It just said the water went away. Right?
Where?
It floated off. Oh, I can't be bothered.